Hi, this is Matt and Greg with Makellos, and today we're going over our project highlights. We're going to start us off with a 1986 Roof 930 Turbo that one of our customers has been bringing in to us now for a couple years. And we have basically gone through most of the car.
They're really cool cars, right? I mean, Roof, for people that don't know, is a German tuner. And one of the issues in working with these most shops have is that there's a lot of one-off components and tuning involved on them. So it takes a while to get used to that car and understand how it's set up. We've worked, this particular customer has a couple of roofs, and one's a 964 and one's a 930 Turbo, and each one's a little bit different and in a number of ways. You've got piggyback units in addition to their DMEs. So trying to deal with tuning becomes a problem because you don't know what they've got in that piggyback unit.
Yeah, I'm dealing with roofs. What we've seen come on with both these cars, and I think we've dealt with one or two other ones. For the most part, it is, there's not really a lot of records out there with what they put in them. I know we rebuilt the transmission to his other car, the 964, and that was a 6-speed 964 roof transmission. I don't know what the exact name. Yeah.
And so I remember there's a 928 gear in there.
Yeah, something like that. But just trying to find what the right gears were, and that's kind of throughout the whole process, the engine, the transmission, the whole car, what they've done to tune those. And I think mainly that probably comes from they don't really want to let their secret out, but at the same time, when it comes to the U.S. especially, like there's not really a roof in a roof US, who will be able to actually work on them without the exact knowledge from them. So a lot of it comes from just experience with them, kind of contacting other. I remember for the transmission, we were contacting some other shops who've done them. But this specific car, we'll bring it back to the 1986. Started off, it was actually his first roof, and he bought it out of Canada, and it was done through Roof Canada.
Right.
And so he brought it over. The paint wasn't that great. He wanted to do a paint job on it and actually put the factory roof bumpers in. I think they were BTR bumpers on the car. They were carbon fiber bumpers. So we bought the actual roof bumpers, and we had to fit those up, get it out to paint, bring it back, kind of disassemble, reassemble everything, windows, doors, frames, all that kind of stuff. And we kind of went through the car, and the rear bumper, we had to make some muffler, exhaust adjustments to make sure that it would not burn the new bumper that we were putting on.
Yeah, a lot of heat shielding, a lot of exhaust blankets sewn on so that we wouldn't warp that new carbon bumper. And a lot of time goes into people think they're just repainting the car. It's quick and easy, but there's a lot of time in disassembling the car properly. To get it repainted.
And he also wanted those chromoly crash bars just in case he ever did, get hit or anything like that. They'd be more protection for the engine, and also we did it in the front. But yeah, the fabrication, custom work like that, especially these roof cars and cars that you don't really know too much about until you get in. It does take a lot of time, a lot of diagnosis, and so. But once you figure them out, they're pretty awesome cars.
Right. So this was primarily a cosmetic thing. Mechanically, it was pretty sound. We did do some upholstery, some Alcantara interior, and 9.7 GT3 buckets. So we had to fab out some brackets. But this is we kind of the gamut of what we work on, between visual work or cosmetic work on cars to some of the laters that are just a whole mechanical overhauls.
Yeah, and this one, like you said, we didn't do too much mechanical work to it. It was pretty sound coming in. The engine and transmission, I don't believe we were in that transmission and the engine. We've done nothing but really service it. It's a pretty good car. But cosmetically, we did the interior, the paint. He did some upgrades. I know he did. We didn't do it, but he also had, before he started coming to us, he installed the KW Club Sport coilovers. He installed the 935 Tarot suspension. So it's a pretty nice car overall. But yeah, mainly what we did was, take it apart, disassemble for paint, and once it got back, reassembled it, and then he did a bunch of interior work with Alcantara. And so it was a pretty unique and pretty cool car. That is fun to see.
And that was fun because we were also doing prep work for Rennsport too. So getting that car ready to go up and show the public up and
actually do it with Rennsport, saying, hey, we brought it in and it ended up turning into a bigger project because the fact is, when you disassemble these cars, you don't always expect all the stuff that comes up, all the extra. You disassemble a car, and most people think, hey, you disassemble it and it goes away, it goes back together the same exact way you took it apart. No, you can probably disassemble a car in about 2 days, but reassembling a car, making sure everything fits correctly, and that's one of the reasons why we don't send out a car to the paint shop and they reassemble it. We make sure that we do it because we know, our guys know how to put them back together correctly. So we were going back together with it. I remember we fit the bumpers before they sent it out to paint. That's how you have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have huge problems. But even after paint, fitting the bumpers up took a little more time and making sure that everything was perfect. The seals had to be correct because there's not really an exact seal that was made for those new bumpers we put on there because we took off factory bumpers and put on these roof bumpers, which are nice bumpers, but it just took a while to fit them up there. And then he was trying to make it to Rennsport. At the end of it, it was kind of crunch time, so he had to spend, I think, basically a good week straight of just working on it so he'd make it over there. But he ended up doing that.
So yeah, not all the jobs that come in here end up being mechanical work. This one was primarily on the cosmetic, on the paint side. But if you guys have work like this or any mechanical work, feel free, give us a call, shoot us an email, and we'll get you scheduled in.